right, there we go. We are live, suited and booted in this thing. Hello, hello. Let's talk this evening. I am so excited to be on here on this Wednesday morning. I mean, not Wednesday morning. It's actually a Wednesday evening. And ladies, let's chat. Let's chat. Because I wanted to I wanted to say something about this, about keeping your peace, because sometimes we all have our life situations that happens in our lives, whether it's our familial relationships, parental relationships, our relationships with our with with our own children, with our parents, with whoever. And a lot of times, dealing with things, sometimes we just don't know how to deal with it, process it, or anything like that. And I wanted to to be a light today, and just to encourage you, is that we all are going to experience we're all going to experience some different things in life. It doesn't matter what you're experiencing, but the other thing is, how do you deal with it, and how, like, you deal with things in a healthy manner, right? Because a lot of times we deal with things in an unhealthy manner. We lash out, we say words that we probably shouldn't even say. Hello, Samantha. I see you on this morning, suited and booted there. I'm talking to you and everything. There you go. Put up the pretty little thing. I hope your day is going well, right? Some of us, we can find ourselves on lifelines and life supports. Well, a life support line when it comes to our emotional health, our emotional being, or in like where we are in our minds, because of life, the daily trials of life, right? And as I've been throughout these spaces, right? Many of the men that I always hear, they're always saying, well, women, you guys have had protections, you have legal protections, you have all of this stuff available to you, and so you could do that. But in actuality, that's not the truth for a lot of women, especially those women who are actually decent, who aren't looking to use men or anything like that, but at the same time they go through emotionally. And yes, I know people say, well, go to therapy and all that, and yes, you can go to therapy, and it does cost. And then the question becomes, okay, and then people say, well, you can give up your nails, or you can give up shopping for your bags or whatever, and you can go to therapy and get the mental things that you need, which you absolutely can. I'm not saying that about that. But one thing we have to do, and even myself included, is that we have to decide to be the peacemakers. The peacemakers, right? Even if that we're not necessarily trying to do that, or we might not necessarily know what it looked like, but what we all can do is begin to take steps, whether it's baby steps, whatever types of steps. You can all begin to really just take the steps that you need when it comes to conflict. And me, I'm a person, I don't handle conflict well, right? Because I get in conflict with you, I'm just gonna drop you and whatever, I'm done with it. But in life, that's not the way that we number one, we should handle people or anything like that, right? And so what are some ways that you deal with conflict, that you deal with, whether you're in agreement with someone or you in a disagreement with someone? As ladies, what can we do? And that's the conversation with keeping our peace, because again, keeping our peace is not always easy. But since we know that keeping our peace is not always easy, ladies to ladies, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. How do, as women, when we're not communicating and we're not it might seem as though, oh, we're crazy or something like that, and the other person we may be trying to communicate with and everything is just not going left. What would you say would be a way to start that communication. Enya said, "Peace, ladies." Hello, Miss Enya. What we're talking about today is like literally keeping our peace, right? Because a lot of times I believe us as women, we find ourselves in some real crazy situations, all because guess what? We didn't keep our peace. We got teed off. We're ready to, pop off and all that stuff, and we don't keep our peace. And I know sometimes that's hard, right? Because like I said, I've been around some of the communities, and of course, like in the manosphere place, like a lot of them, there's like, men have been caught quiet. They have to deal with, a person not being nice. Because last night I kept hearing, oh, well, we want our wives or our girlfriends, whatever, to be nice, to be pleasant, to be peaceful, and everything. When we come home, rub our heads, cook our meals, this, that, and the third, right? And that sounds very reasonable. It sounds like that's reasonable. You can't be nice to the person that you're with. You can't cook a meal. You can't be pleasant. You can't hug them and kiss them and ask them all about their day. What's wrong with these women? They're just mean and angry and all of this, and when they come home, it's not pleasant. It's not nice. It's, hey, how you doing? Right? So you would think that the women there are going crazy, right? And some of it maybe, but some of it too is that I think a lot of us women, we hold on to things that we'll say we either forgive or well, it doesn't matter anymore, but on the inside we haven't let go of stuff, right? And so those things that we haven't let go of are become things that we begin to think about, that we begin to talk about, that we begin to think about. And when we're thinking about those things because we truly haven't let go of certain things, that's why some of the women may seem mean, right? Because of guards up. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think a lot of women are being mean because of the guards that they have up, or unforgiveness in the past, or anything like that? Because and you have to really put the mirror on yourself. Why? I was thinking about that. I was like, last night I was like, why sometimes am I happy, and then other times I'm like, you think about everything, right? Because as you begin to hear, especially this stuff on YouTube anyway, it makes you take a look at at yourself. It makes you look at yourself. And when you begin to look at yourself, you have to say, okay, is that me? Is that me doing that? Enya says, I think a lot of women, let me pull that up on the screen, what you said, sis. She said, I think a lot of women are struggling with pain and loneliness. Oh, wow. You've brought up a great point. She said that I think a lot of women are struggling with pain and loneliness. And pain sometimes, because as women, we are taught to endure pain. We are taught that pain is normal, right? We are taught to endure it. We're taught pain is normal. But a lot of time, the processing of the pain, and it builds up over time, right? It builds up over time. And so that's where attitudes come in. That's where different things come in. And then she talked about loneliness. And then the men also say they deal with loneliness. Thank you, James. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to the Got team over there. And Enya, what else she say? She say, scripture teaches us that the elder mothers should teach the younger ones how to love their husbands and their children. Ooh, you right. And it don't even matter what scriptural text that you're reading from, right? Because all scriptural texts Say that. But we have a generation of what they would call us latchkey generation, something like that, where our parents were out there getting the bag and making their money and working to make sure that we had everything we need, etc. And a lot of times they didn't get to that. And so you have a group of women, including myself, there were certain developmental things that we did not get. And since we did not get those things, we are figuring it out late in our 30s. And as we're beginning to figure those things out late in our 30s, that's why some people, you see them going through, they might go through a marriage and then get remarried. And that's because of their figuring out what to do. And as a collective, because sometimes you want to say, okay, a lot of people, they just didn't get it. And then you have people who are putting out, this, I guess, kind of training content and saying, you know what? They're saying, hey, I'm going to be a voice. I'm going to be a voice. I'm going to be a voice in all this darkness, a voice, and all this, cloudiness, etc. But then they'll say, well, a lot of the women aren't really listening to me or anything like that. Because there are a generation of women who just did not have the example. And I think that sometimes when it comes to development of things, because guys can do things. Let me ask y'all, what do you think about this statement? Okay, guys can do whatever this is a statement. It's just a blanket statement. Okay, guys can do what they want to in their 20s and nobody cares. But a woman has to make sure she has it all together. Like, it's always, you have to have it all together, and men get the opportunity to develop and women don't. What do y'all think about that? Hold on. Oh, Enya is coming strong today. She said, yes, chasing money, broken dreams. So some of them may feel guilty because they were unable to give their children the life. Let me go to here because I can't read all that. Because they were unable to give their children the life that they wanted to have. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. I agree with that. And that's not, like I said, it's not a bash towards our parents or anything like that. It's just like, now we have to just admit I'm undeveloped. And that's hard, because you especially at 35, you're supposed to be developed, but many of us are 35 and up and still undeveloped. But thank God that there are people out here that are willing, ladies, to give you an example. And sometimes you don't have to be in their inboxes and calling them every day or whatever. Some examples you can watch. You can watch and learn from that. And we can also listen, because many of us, including myself, sometimes we struggle with listening. Because the moment, again, the moment something is triggered in us, we have to also, again, control our triggers. Because sometimes when things trigger us, we don't want to hear anything. We don't want to hear anything else. And that's a behavior that's not, good for us or whatever. And that's the thing with keeping your peace. You keep your peace by, first of all, exercising control. It's not gonna be something that you're just gonna do. You just gonna get, all right. And Miss Enya say it's hard sometimes because we are broken, but we are trying to get it together. Absolutely, it is hard, baby. That ain't the hard. Hear what I'm saying. Look here. What I'm gonna open the lines and we can have this conversation. I'm gonna drop the link real quick. Let me go ahead and make a video thing network creator. Okay, I'm gonna drop the line real quick. Okay, and create a session, and I'm gonna put this in here. And I would love Miss Enya, if you could come up. I would love to have that conversation. You don't have to cam up. I mean, you can put the camera on what's it call it, if you would like. That's cool too, right? Okay, wirecast you, no audio. What is this? Live audio. There we go. So you can see device live. Oh, okay, cool. There we go. All right, but I dropped the link there, and if anyone would like to come up, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome to, because I like to invite you if you would like to come up. I just need to assign what we supposed to have here. Shots, change sources, A. Okay. Oops. A. Oh, there we go. I had to put this a video capture. Okay, cool. So if you would like to come up and have the conversation, I would love for you to come up, because I think amongst us, this would be a she said thank you for the invite, but I'm unable to come up. It's okay, it's not a problem at all. But I just want to at least kind of start the conversation with my sisters, and just keeping your peace, right? Because if you don't keep your peace, you're gonna find yourself like depressed every day. Like you don't want to live like that, and I don't want you to live like that. I don't even want your children or anybody to see you living like that, because if you do not protect your peace, right, you lose you. And one thing you can't lose is, outside of your spouse and everything, but don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself overthinking. Don't lose yourself in panic. Don't lose yourself, with anxiety and all that stuff like that. You have to protect your peace. And not only do you have to protect your peace, you have to protect your peace even in your home. You have to protect the peace in your home too. Because you can have peace here, but if the peace in your environment is not suitable or anything like that, let me tell you something. If you don't have anything else, don't lose your peace, okay? But also be peaceful to others. Be peaceful in your home. Be a peacemaker. The Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers, okay? So I want you to keep the peace in your homes, all right? So at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, you have to have peace here. Keep your peace. Be a peacemaker. And sometimes you have to have the hard conversations. This has been our lunch chat. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. God bless. Bye. My peace is not for play. That's right. My peace is not for play. I love how she said that, honey. Samantha, you want to come up with me? Had a conversation? Because I think a lot of people actually need their conversation. I agree, honey. My peace is not for play. And that is full facts. That's right. My peace is not for play. I thought I had the window up. Okay? I told you guys I'm getting a little better. I'm getting a little better at this. So we're going to go through comments real quick. Enya says, did you see what happened yesterday in NYC? This was a result of someone not protecting their peace. Whoa, yes. I seen where the man, I don't know the full story of that, but I did see that, y'all, where the man got on the train and started shooting up everybody at the subway. I'll share my screen. Let me share my screen real quick. I'll share my screen and I'll pull that video. And it was so sad because I seen a friend of mine go live yesterday about that, and she's actually She's actually in New York, and she said she wasn't far from the subway. But that's the thing. If you don't keep your peace, that can cause you to do some things. Let's look at that story real quick. Hold on. I'm pulling it up on the camera so you guys can see it as well. We'll go. I like to put my screen in the middle of the screen, which is probably the wrong place to put it, but that's what I like. All right, let's go to the screen there. All right. So yesterday in New York, let's go over here. I think it's called the New York train shooting. Oh, and there's a couple of other ones. Here you go. This man, it says a manhunt is underway in Brooklyn for subway shooting. Frank R. James identified as the suspect. And it says the attack left 29 people shot or otherwise injured, shaking a city unnerved by a sharp rise in crime. A mumbling lone gunman in a reflective vest and a gas mask threw smoke bombs into God dog. He planted that thing. He threw smoke bombs into the subway car in Brooklyn and began shooting at the height of at the morning rush. With the manhunt continuing into the evening, new details has emerged, and that is so sad. Oh my God, that is so sad. That man didn't have his peace. Like Miss Enya said, he didn't have his peace. I'm trying to switch my screen, but it's going slow now. Ain't that something? The man, he didn't have his peace. And because he didn't there we go. And because he didn't have his peace, his action began to affect everybody. And that's how we all are. Like if we're not peaceful and we're just doing whatever we want to do, our affections, our reactions, and our decision, it affects everybody, right? It affects everybody. Those connected to us, those who we don't even know. Those people were going to work, they were going to school, wherever they were going, and they didn't expect somebody to throw bomb mask and start shooting up everybody. And Lord knows what was going on with him, because his decisions affected everybody, right? Now people have done probably developed PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. They probably done developed anxiety, scaredness, and things like that because one decision. Because he, whatever the man was dealing with, we don't know what he was dealing with, but one decision affected his peace and affected everybody around him. So yeah, we really have to, be mindful of that. What Miss Enya say? This is why we need positive conversation, because he had wow. What you say? She said, this is why we need positive conversations, because he had a YouTube channel, and I heard the YouTube drama has to stop. We need each other to speak life affirming words to each other. Man, that's wow. So girl, he had a YouTube page too. And that's the thing. Like, with now that we're virtual, like when it comes to these YouTube streets, you have two things. You have your real life, what you're going through in real life. Anybody can paint any picture for anybody, right? It's a blank canvas, right? It's creative. You can paint any picture. And who knows what was going on with this man? Who knows if he was in a part of YouTube beefs and different things like that, right? Because these YouTube interactions and different things like that, if you're not careful, they will bleed over into your personal life, and especially for these new creators, because now it's one thing to beef with people in your city and stuff like that, but it's another thing when you're beefing with the world wide web. It takes a level of mental fortitude, because anybody with a phone, like you see that phone right here, anybody with a phone can turn it over, and when they turn it on, they can say whatever they want to say and do whatever they want to do. But in everything, like when I was teaching kids, we taught about what they called a digital digital citizenship, right? And a lot of people don't understand digital citizenship, because digital citizenship will follow you wherever you go, right? And somewhere it is stored. I'm going to show you something, okay? And this is the thing about blogs and people putting up these fake blogs and all that. I'm going to go to my screen. There's a site. I'm going to go to the screen right here so y'all see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to show you something that why it's very important about digital literacy. Digital citizenship. This is a website that's called the Wayback Machine. Okay? Waybackmachine.com. Or is Wayback Machine. Let me see. Wayback Machine. Alright. Oh, now it's called archive.org. It used to be called Wayback Machine, obviously. Okay, it's called archive.org. Now look at here. Explore more than 673 billion web pages saved over time. Now, what do that mean? What do that mean? Anything that you have saved is archived daily, okay? Down to the second. Every time you change something, I don't care if it's on social media, if it's on anything. Anytime you say you change something, it is archived. And this is called the Internet Archive, okay? You could put any website, any social media site, or anything like that, and it will go back. Let me see. I forgot my Facebook name. I think it's this how long I done had this. Is it Evangelist? I don't even know my own Facebook. Oh, no. This one is Lady Crystal Hale. Okay. So if I was to take my Facebook and I go into the Wayback Machine, I think the Wayback Machine archives this as well. Okay. Oh, no. This one is not available. But let me do my website. Just do my website. waynetworktv.net. Okay. Now I put in waynetworktv.net. Okay, and I go into here, it's going to tell you when it's first start archiving. So it doesn't say, hey, this home page, well, this particular page right here has been changed 48 times since March of 2016 to June 2021, right? And so any page or whatever, it's going to show you how many times it's been updated, how many times it's been changed. And then the crazy part of what it does is, I changed it here. I changed it here in 26 or whatever in 2021. I haven't did a lot of updates, but I can go to any of the years that I want to. So if I go to 2018, anytime I've made a change on that page, as y'all see, look at that, and it goes to the time, and it might have looked like something else or something like that. But this is the point of me showing you this. Even when it comes to blogs, things of that nature, it'll show you at that time, how the website looked or whatever, okay? But the point of me showing you that is that when it comes to your digital citizenship, is that people can go back. They can pull things up from the past that you had no clue, that you like, oh, well, I wrote that blog, but I changed it, but they can go back, okay? They can go back and look at things and dig things, right? So that's where you get some of these nosy folks on YouTube. That'll go and they'll go through all your stuff, go through all of this, right? Because everything is archived. Nothing is not safe, right? So many of us who started on social media early, we didn't realize the effect of what we have, what we could post. Or, you get mad at something and you're like, oh, I'm just writing to my friends, not realizing that stuff is saved on the internet. And guess what? It has its repercussions, right? Because even I can even say for my own personal self and through my own personal journey, there are some things I posted on my social media, which I probably shouldn't have posted it. And I'm like, oh, I'm venting to my friends and this, that, and the third. But it later comes back and say, well, you said this and you said that, you did this and you did that, and it not only just affect me, it affect everybody involved. You get what I'm saying? And it's not like some crazy negative. It was dumb what I posted, but it affect me, my husband, my children, those connected with us, stuff like that, right? So when you posting, every freaking thing is documented, right? And then, of course, when people find certain things that may help them, they try to prove their point about you, or prove this about you, or prove that about you. They'll screenshot, right? Because we live in a time of screenshot, and you just never know what's gonna pull people off the edge. And so that's why it's important for even us as adults to exercise great digital citizenship, right? Because people take the digital world and bring it to the real world, right? And everybody may be a certain way on the internet, but they may not be that way in real life, right? You never know what you're gonna get. However, everything is monitored, and we have to tell. I have to tell my kids sometimes, like, they'll be on TikTok and they'll post something. I'm just like, oh no, take that down. Immediately I say, oh no, take that down, or whatever, because I know they're being funny. But however, in these spheres, if people find out my kids YouTube they TikTok name, they might go to they have it set to private and stuff like that. But kids, when people send them friend requests, they're not really caring. They're like, oh, I got another follower, right? So, we just have to be careful. We have to be careful because everything is documented, and our prayers continually goes to those people who were shot and who were affected affected by that. Samantha say, oh yeah. So yeah, that was like crazy. But yeah, you have that going on, and then I'm pretty sure yeah, you got that going on, and then you got the thing with Will Smith, who is at Netflix. All them people, y'all, they pulling his movies, they going to his royalties and all that, which I think personally they went a little too far. They did a little too far for that. I really do think that they went a little too far with that. And then also, it's one more, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all one more story. Okay, I seen it yesterday, and I was like, OMG. I'm gonna say one more story. Okay, so y'all know Kim and Kanye, they've been going at it, but this is what happened. Look, it's Kim caught Saint, I think it sees clickbait from Ray J's tape. I was scrolling through this, and check this out. It was like it was hilarious. I mean, it wasn't hilarious because, thank you, it wasn't hilarious, but it was interesting. Because right here it says, Kim Kardashian reveals she called Kanye West in tears after 6-year-old son received Roblox message. Oh, he was on Roblox about the Ray J tape. Let's talk, ladies. Woo, the things that make you say, right? So 20 years ago, our sister Kim Kardashian, she had a situation, she had I don't know if they were in a relationship or what, with Ray J, and they made a tape. That tape got leaked. Obviously, it was supposed to be a tape between Ray J and Kim, but however it got leaked, And y'all remember that was on the radio, and you remember after Kim and Kanye got together, Ray J came out with that song that was like, I hit it first, and all that stuff like that, right? Okay, so now 20 years later, she's been, they were married for a while, and of course she's divorced now. And we remember just a couple of weeks ago, Pete and Kanye was going at it. Kanye released the text that was like on Instagram and everything, and where Pete was cussing at Kanye, and Kanye said something to him, whatever. And then at the end, he was like, "I'm in bed with your wife, taking pictures," right? And he was doing all that. So now, guess what happened? This baby is playing Roblox. See, on the other article, I didn't know it was Roblox. They said it was. They just said it was a video game. So the baby was playing. Well, how in the? Okay, so the baby was playing Roblox, and as he was playing Roblox, a pop-up came up saying, "Hey, you want to see the Kim Kardashian tape? Click here," right? And so Saint went to his mama and was like, "What is this about?" Because the baby ain't nothing but like 5 or 6 years old, something like that. And it devastated her. And of course she called the people who, you know, did the ad, which I think was a little low down or whatever. But however, the past came back. It came back, right? And we all have things that in our past, obviously we don't want our children to see, or anything like that, right? Because we always want our children to see us in a very, very positive light, right? We want our children to see us as so. But when I seen that, I was like, OMG. I was like, I don't know how I would explain something like that to my child or anything like that and stuff. But one thing that I do know is that again, things come back, right? And we have to be prepared for the good things and the bad things. But in this point too, because obviously it's going to be on some TV show that's going to air tomorrow. In the article, it begins to state that she called Kanye crying, saying they have went too far, and I don't know why they doing this and all that stuff like that. She calls him crying. But just a week before, you know, you let your your new boyfriend text your husband or your ex-husband, but now you want him to protect you, right? And so there's a level of, what do you want, right? Do you want him to live his life, but you want him to protect you, but you know, we're gonna leave him unprotected. I don't agree with Kanye West, what he does, his erratic behavior or anything like that, right? But I don't believe in you having somebody terrorize somebody else, or even you being a terrorizer of somebody else, like, because they're in their 40s, right? They're in their 40s almost. Well, I don't know if she's almost 50, but I know she's in her 40s. They're in their 40s. So at 40 years old, we can't be doing stuff like we were 20, or you know what I'm saying, like in our 20s or 25. I got your girlfriend. You know, we don't do that. Not at this age. And this woman wanted that man to protect her from the media, but she didn't protect him and tell that man, you know, that man she with, no, we don't do this. We, you know, we're not, we're divorced and all that, but you're not fit to do that to him. But she wanted her to protect him. What's y'all thoughts on that? What's y'all thoughts? Yeah, it is horrible. It is horrible. All of this is just messy. She said, Inya says, oh my. Yes, oh my is the word. And then she said, wow, that's horrible. You're right. She said, I may be removing my channel after this, LOL. I don't want to be a digital citizen. But you know what? If you have a cell phone, you are a digital citizen. If you text somebody, you are a digital citizen. You are a digital citizen. We are digital citizens by default. Right? Everything we do is digital. Ones and O's, codes, all that stuff. Everything that we do is digital. Like, we are not off the grid. We are on the grid. Okay? We can privacy, how to find firewalls, how to have VPNs, all that stuff. But we live in a digital world. We live in a natural world and also a digital world as well. And so, we can keep a low profile, right? But we're just in a digital world because everything is now digitized. right? Even our phone lines are digital. Like, no one even, maybe some people do still have a phone line, but I know I don't. Just have a cell phone, right? But yeah, but those are some of the things we talked about. Like I said, keeping our peace and everything. I know I would miss her too. I would miss her too because she's absolutely she's absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing. So next time y'all gonna have to join me for lunch as we continue to talk. But sometimes right in the midst of what you are, you gotta start over. Keep your peace. Keep your peace, because not keeping your peace, it affects everybody around you, right? And we want to make sure that we are affecting people, but we're affecting people in a positive way. All right. My name is Talk Hell. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Until next time, keep your peace, and we'll talk to you for lunch later. God bless. She said, oh, hold on. Let me go through these last comments right quick. She said, all of this is just messy, and we too old for games. You is right, Miss Samantha. This one say, oh yeah, I would miss her too. And you say, oh, Samantha, I'll miss you too. YouTube is scary. All right, guys, I love you. I love you all. I love you all. Peace out, ladies. I love you. I love you. And until next time.